Hey folks, it's Dr. Gerstmar from Aspire Natural Health. You may or may not be able to hear some banging in the background. I am at home today because I have exterminators here. So as we went through this process, it kept reflecting back on me how much this was like a lot of people's and our health journeys, right? My own and everybody else's as we go through life. So I wanted to share a few thoughts and think about, what we could learn from this process. So we moved into this new to us house about 6 months ago. And, a couple of weeks ago, after the kids had gone to bed, I was walking around doing my thing, saw one of our cats just staring at the wall. Now, cats do that sometimes, but I stopped to check it out and I heard a scratching noise. Now, it's never a good thing to hear a scratching noise coming from inside of a wall. So I kind of concerned, looked around a little bit, didn't really see much, not real pleased, but I did what most of us do when we're confronted with a problem. Right? Whether that's an internal problem like an ache or a pain or something not working right or, an issue. What do we do most of the time? We try and ignore it, right? So I went, oh, that's not good. But it's kind of late and I don't know, maybe it'll go away, right? The silliest of all beliefs that we pretty much have, that if we have a problem, maybe we just ignore it and it goes away. Now, rarely that does actually work. But reality in my life, your life too, most of the time when we ignore something, it just gets worse, right? Luckily for me, a couple of days later, I was the same kind of thing out in the evening after the kids had gone to bed, and I heard scratching in the wall again. This time, I knew I had to take my own advice, so made a note. Next day, we called the exterminator and got them in. They did an evaluation of the house, and lo and behold, they found that we had mice. An infestation of mice, probably been here for quite a long time, and when we did our home inspection, I guess, they didn't find it. So today, we have the exterminators coming in to start their process. Now, they go through a process which I found, very similar to the same kind of process we go through with patients. So they had the initial evaluation, right, which is what we do when we sit down with someone. We're trying to understand what's going on. So they did the same thing with our house, right? They took some time, crawled around the house, looked in and under things, and came back to us with, the report of findings, right? Which is what we do with our patients as well. Well, this is what we found from the testing that we've done for you. This is what we see are your issues, and this is what we think we need to do to take care of it. So here's where the second thing comes up that we see all the time, right? So when we're faced with a comprehensive, solution, our first thought is, that costs more than I'd rather pay. That'll take more time and effort than I'd rather use. So when it comes to exterminators, right, the thought that crosses everybody's heads is, can't I just go down to Home Depot and buy $20 worth of mouse traps and sprinkle them around? Won't that be good? Won't that take care of it? And the reality is, honestly, no. I mean, face it, right? When we do it with health, we think of things like, oh, I have aches and pains, so I'll just take, some aspirin, some Tylenol or whatever, right? Or something's not quite right, maybe I'll just grab a medication and take care of the problem. Well, that can help with the symptoms, right? Maybe that makes the scratching in my walls go away if I lay down some mouse traps. But is it really going to, in a significant and sustainable way, take care of my problem? And the answer is no, of course not. Right? So they sat down, explained to us what the issue was, and in short, it's going to cost me about $5,000 to get this taken care of, right? They're going to go through a multi-step process, which is first what they call exclusion, which is blocking off every single entrance that mice can use to get in and out of the house. Then they go through eradication, right? They're going to kill off all the mice. Then they go through step 3, in this case for them, is repair. So they're going to fix all the damage that the mice have done underneath the house. And then one of the most critical steps, right, is the maintenance plan. So again, we tend to say things like, oh, well, I've just spent a bunch of time and energy and money fixing my problem, right? Whether it's mice in your house, whether it's autoimmune disease, gut problems, okay, you've recognized, all right, this is something I have to deal with. Yes, a more comprehensive approach is going to yield me better results, right? So we can say, as we said, look, if I wanted every single week to go down to the store, buy $20 worth of mouse traps, put them out each week, clean them up each week and put out new ones each week, there's a reasonable chance I could keep this thing under control. But again, when we look at it, okay, compared to $5,000, spending $20 today is a bargain. But the impact it's going to have on my life, having to do it every week, and then just frankly, kind of the not really effective solution, you know, they will still, the mice that are there will still continue to do damage. So we see this all the time, right? People may say, well, I've got a problem, but honestly, it's not that bad of a problem, right? And when I'm faced with the fact that what I need to do is going to take some significant time, energy, and money, I think I'll just wait, right? And look, that's everyone's right to do what they want. But we have to face up to the fact again that ignoring a problem, or in this case, under-treating an issue, isn't going to result in it getting better or going away. It's just going to result in it getting worse over time. So the reality is, for my house now, these exterminators, I can pay $5,000 to have them do it now, or I can wait 5, 10, maybe 20 years. Maybe the mice never come up through the floor. I never see them. But maybe one day I want to sell this house, and we go in and we find out, man, you know, everything under the house is just wrecked, right? And then this $5,000, maybe it turns into $20,000, $30,000, I don't know, or more. And we see this again regularly when it comes to health, right? What someone may need is a good solid 3 months of dedicated work to take care of their health problem when it's not that big of a deal. But for one of, you know, a variety of reasons, they decide to put it off and wait, and they'll take care of it later. So they come back a few years down the road, right? And again, their health is worse now. So what may have been, you know, a relatively small investment of time, energy, and money, which felt bigger to the person, now it truly is a much bigger investment of time, energy, and money. So we've got that. And then lastly, like I said, their last step is maintenance, and we agree with that. So you've gone through all of this effort. In this case, right, they evaluated the house, they excluded, you know, they blocked off all the entrances from the house, they killed all the mice and everything that were here, and then they went in and cleaned everything up so that it was all in great shape, right? And that's where a lot of people are at for their health. They sign on with us, they do good work, they feel so much better coming out the other end of it, right? Then we move on to the maintenance phase. So just like with this house, you want to say like, well, look, I just spent like $5,000 getting all these mice and everything out of my house. Aren't I done? And the reality is no, right? You've taken care of the problem, but this is life, right? If you don't continue to do some maintenance work, in this case, it's making sure that mice don't get in, checking those entrances, setting up some baits and keeping the population under control outside and around the property, right? They will eventually get back in and under the house and start causing problems again. And it's the same thing with health, right? So you've cleaned up your diet, you started exercising, you fixed your gut, you've detoxed, right? You've balanced your immune system. You've done all of these things. You balanced your hormones. So you feel really good, right? Now you have to undertake maintenance to keep everything in good shape. So surprisingly, a link that I never thought of, exterminators and alternative health people, we have a lot in common, right? We can, when it comes to health, look, you can take shortcuts. You can save money, time, energy, but rarely are you going to get the results you want, which are significant results, right? Real changes and sustained results, right? So we don't want you to feel better for a short period of time. We want you to feel better for years, decades, the rest of your life, right? And taking shortcuts is almost never going to get you there. So you may see programs, you may work with other docs. They're not really asking much out of you in terms of time and commitment, right? Reality is, for most people, they're just not going to get good results. How do we know? Because I did that for years, right? There's always a percentage of people, and you may be among them, who are just superstars, right? Tell you what to do, you go out and do it, you come back and say, I did it all, give me more, right? But the reality is most of us aren't that way, right? We need help. We need extra help. We need coaching. We need guidance. We need accountability. We need someone to keep us on track, right? That's why we do the programs we do. That's why we get the results that we get. So if you're ready for some real results, right? I hate to compare myself to an exterminator, but let us help you exterminate the dysfunctions that you have, right? Let us help correct issues and get your body in good shape. We'll go through a multi-step process, which for us is first and foremost symptom control. Not everybody needs it, but if you feel terrible or your symptoms are really bad, first and foremost, we need to get that under control so that you can feel semi-functional and get through your days. Then we have evaluation and testing, right, which is where we work to discover what's going on for you. Then we have treatment, right, and treatment is divided into two sections. We have our lifestyle medicine, which is all our foundational habits like what we're eating, exercise, sleep, stress management, mental emotional support, some basic detoxification, that kind of stuff. The basics everybody needs to stay healthy long term, right? So we're working with you on lifestyle medicine. Then there's corrective medicine. So what do we find is going on, right? And what do we need to do to correct it? Once all that's done, the last stage is maintenance. So you've made big gains, you feel a lot better. Now what do you need to do to maintain it, right? So if we can be of help to you guys, we would love to. Please feel welcome to contact us at aspirenaturalhealth.com or facebook.com/aspirenaturalhealth. Till we talk again, guys, take care.